People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
Hello, hello.
All right. On today's episode, we have Willow Wingo. She's our niece, our babysitter. She's a chocoholic. She loves anything horror movie or slasher based or psycho killer
Scary, just-
ghost doll that's possessed.
Yeah.
She's into all that stuff. And she's also a cool kid. Everybody, it's Willow Wingo. What's up, girl?
Hey.
So we were supposed to have a magic guest this week, but there's a big magic convention going on in Las Vegas called Magiclife. And some people say it's the best magic convention of the year.
Oh, and you're not there.
I know.
You have to work.
I'm seeing stuff on Facebook and everybody hanging out and hugging and taking pictures with each other, and it's like, oh.
You already went to the convention this year.
And I'm stuck here. But you know what?
Wait a minute. You're
I'm stuck here. I can't go to Vegas.
That's so mean.
But
I'm insulted.
But I'm like, you know what?
Right?
I need a guest this week, and I got one under my nose. And when are we ever gonna interview Willow? Heck, she hardly talks to us when we're in the same car with her. So this might be a good way to actually get to know her.
Oh, stop it.
That's
She
so
talks to me.
mean.
We have conversations in the car every once in a while.
I take her all the way to get her allergy shots, and sometimes we talk, but sometimes she just looks at her phone. Or, oh, let me tell you a story. Before even Willow even gets on here, one day, because Natalie's got us on this diet, we're drinking tons of water. And I'm like, Willow, I have to pee. I'm not going to make it home. Willow, we're on the interstate. I got to go. I'm not going to make it. Willow, there's nowhere to pull over. Oh my gosh, Willow, I can't hold it anymore. I'm getting hot sweat, Willow. Oh no, I'm not going to make it, Willow. I'm going to pee on the side of the road, Willow. And I get off the exit ramp and she says, what are you doing? I've been talking to you for 20 minutes, crying and confessing to you. She had her earphone in and I didn't know. I was having a whole conversation with her.
I had noise canceling headphones on.
That's hilarious.
Daggone it. Anyway,
Yeah.
What's up, Willow? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Is it weird to do an interview when you're in the next room and we just had dinner together?
Yeah, it is weird because I can hear you. I can hear muffled you talking.
You can hear us through the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you yell, so.
I want to be heard. So, let's go way, way, way back. So, what was the first magic show you ever saw me do? Do you remember the first magic show?
Well, it had to be, I was in elementary in like 4th grade, maybe? Because it had to be before you did a magic show for me on one of my birthdays. You came in and did a magic show. And I'd seen you before that. So it's been a while.
Do you remember the first one, Natalie?
I don't remember the first one she came to. I know what she's talking about, coming to a birthday party and doing it at my mom and dad's house.
Yeah.
But I don't, before that, I don't know. They might have come, with mom and daddy at some point to a show.
Now, when Natalie's parents took you to, like, the theater shows and you saw us in theater, was that the first time you saw us perform? Like, the big theater shows?
No, I think I saw you perform before the big theater shows.
I remember they came one time because whoever was babysitting for us at the time couldn't make it one week to Shenandoah Crossing.
Oh, yeah, that too.
as well.
That too.
And Lana was a baby. And so Mom brought them all. I remember that because I remember her telling Cassidy not to shake the breast milk bottle. She'd make it all chunky.
So let's explain this to the listeners. So Natalie's mom and dad is raising
They have custody.
you and your sister and
Yeah.
your 2 brothers.
Yeah, they got custody of us about 9 years ago, I think now. 9 or 10.
So that's why the parents are bringing you guys everywhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So do you remember going to Shenandoah Crossing and Massanutten and all that as well?
I don't remember specifics. I just know I've seen you before all of that.
Before the birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ow. Yeah.
All right, so I don't even know where to go then.
Why?
I'm just thinking.
Oh.
Like
Did
I
y'all come out
remember
to see us at State Theater in Culpeper? It was a big theater, and it was like old timey looking when you got in there. Like red velvet seats that, folded down, but you couldn't
I
move them or
vaguely
anything.
remember that.
Yeah, I thought they came there.
I vaguely
One of those years. I think they came.
The one I remember prominently was one that was, it might not have been even late, but it was late for us at the time. And so we went to IHOP afterwards.
Oh
And
yeah.
That was one of those theater shows.
Yeah.
And we ordered food, but I was so tired. I ate one bite of my chicken sticks and fell asleep.
Yeah. I remember that too. I remember you just
By the
just
time
sleep by your plate.
by the time we ordered dinner and got there, it was already 11:30, and I think it was
really slow.
I think it was a 2-hour wait on our food.
It was ridiculous how long it took us to get the food.
Now we had a big table, but I think it was a 2-hour wait on our food.
But there's nobody in the restaurant. I don't know why it took so long.
Yeah,
So Willow,
it did take forever.
After all these years of me doing shows, I always, I don't know. Every show seems like a new adventure to me, unless it's something like Massanutten that I do all the time. I know exactly what that is. I know exactly what I'm getting into. I do it 15 times every single summer. Do it throughout the year. I'm so used to being there. What do you think when we tell you we're going to a new venue and we try to describe it to you? Are you just along for the ride, or you try to picture it? What goes to your mind?
My mind, it goes through, okay, so what am I going to do with the babies? Am I going to have to keep them more quiet than they usually are and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And of course, am I going to have to be around people?
Yeah, Willow doesn't like being around audiences. I make her wave every once in a while when she brings the kids out to the audience, and you're doing that okay.
You're a good sport.
Yeah.
I know you're not comfortable just making random small talk with people, but I've seen people just come up to you and start a conversation because you have twins you're
Well,
watching,
and also you're
and
part of us.
that's just something people are drawn to, and so you do good.
Yeah, I do fine when I have to. I just don't want to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's
we did a church show recently, and there was nowhere for you to go with the boys, so you were literally in another building.
Oh yeah.
In like a
Yeah.
daycare area in another building, and
Yeah,
Natalie
that
has
was
to
fun.
text you. You like that? I was nowhere near people. I like that. That was fun.
Yeah, that one was fine. I was nowhere near people. We had a huge open space for the boys to run around in. They liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to text, and I think I forgot until it was a little late. I'm like, oh lordy.
Yeah, sometimes when I get to the end of the show and you haven't texted in time, she's so far away.
Yeah, I had to grab them and run.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed one bow. Well, it only happened once though, but it was my fault because I'm still not used to having to text her because it's not every show that she's so far away. You got to text her to come in for the final bow with the boys. It's
Well, my thing is, I don't want my baby squeaking in the background, and everybody knows this in this household, but the listeners might not know. So I feel bad if my kids are because I have a hearing issue, and that would distract me from hearing the show. So I just put that on everybody else in that audience, and I don't want my kids disrupting the performance. But it also disrupts the magician because I hear it, and then it disrupts me. So, but you've had to sit in the car during shows. We had a show for a nursing home just this week. And we were like, Willow, this would be great. These old folks are going to love the boys. They're going to just eat them up. This is going to be so great. I was working on a new magic trick. You saw me working on it. Natalie was helping. You guys all worked out the details. Who holds who passes who to who during the trick. Got it all worked out. And then we couldn't bring them in because they were so COVID crazy.
Yeah, they were still very scared, and the boys had a little bit of a runny nose.
We had 2 pages of paperwork to fill out. They had to take our temperatures. They had to
We had to wear a mask still.
we had to hand sanitize before we picked up their pens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not bringing the boys in. There's no way. If they go, everybody, there's going to be a COVID alarm that goes off.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, kids were totally allowed, but we would have had to fill out paperwork for Julian, for Lex, for Willow, and we had already filled out paperwork for me and you and Lana.
right.
So, but they had just started letting kids back in to visit.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to ruin anything by bringing in kids that had runny noses and making somebody scared.
There's probably one 13-year-old there, 12 or 13-year-old, which was
Yeah.
like one of the employees' kids
Yeah.
they brought in.
Yeah.
But that was a fun show. But Willow sat in the parking lot the
Yeah,
whole time.
poor Willow. Poor Willow.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun show for me.
No, I bet it wasn't. Yeah, because the boys, by the time we got back, she had Sesame Street running on her phone, so the boys weren't screaming. And so poor Willow had nothing to do.
Willow gets into Sesame Street. I've
And
seen Willow get into Sesame Street.
on
She
top-
sings the song.
On top of that, I mean, on a normal day, they had a little bit of a field that she could have gotten out, run around with boys, but it was raining. So she couldn't even get out of the car and walk around with them because it was raining. So she was literally stuck in the car.
Our Buzz stuck in the car.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But hey, you still got paid.
Yeah,
Dude,
yes,
you
I
could
did.
be-
I still did get paid.
You could be laying brick, but no, you're watching Sesame Street. How hard is your job?
She does a good job. And on top of that, you should tell everybody that she homeschooled herself her last 2 years of high school just so she could help us out on the road. And I think that's amazing.
How cool is that? You know,
Yeah.
I pick on her, I give her a hard time, but she did that so she could help us out.
She just volunteered too, which I think is amazing. I mean, I was over here going, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know. I mean, at first we tried to do the small shows that didn't have any illusions in it by ourselves. Because I was like, I did that with Lana. We were fine by ourselves with Lana. We
We just passed the baby back and forth.
yeah, we'll be fine. But then we had a show where they were both screaming at the same time, and I got stressed out, and I was getting teary-eyed because I knew Wes didn't want to hear him screaming. But there was nothing I could do to comfort them both at the same time. And I was like, I need Willow every show. And so,
Willow, Natalie says I get pre-show pissy. You haven't witnessed anything like that, have you?
be honest, Willow.
Like before a show, like I get stressed out.
Yeah, you do.
What are you talking about, Willow?
Thank you,
We're on the
Willow.
air here.
Thank you, Willow.
Dude, I just want the show to go so well. I want it to go good. I don't want to be late. I don't want it to be. What really upsets me is like Hyatt Regency. You're in the car. It's supposed to be 3.5 hours. It takes 6 hours to get there. And you get everything loaded in the cart and you walk half a mile to the building and realize you forgot something. And you walk a half a mile back and then the elevator stalls and you're just sitting there waiting for the elevator. That drives me crazy.
Well, I don't know. You've always gotten started on time. And last time you got extremely pre-show pissy and you had even more time than normal to get ready. But it's cool. Whatever.
I wanted to work on some new stuff before I got there.
I've learned to ignore you.
See, I have my suit coat set up like a Batman utility belt is what I say. So it weighs like 80 pounds. Each pocket's laid out. And I'm good to go. Literally, I could throw it on and do a show. But Natalie's taping, and I want to change up what I'm doing. These people are all new. They haven't seen anything before. But Natalie's like, well, you do the same 6 tricks over and over. I don't have to. It's that I don't have time to load my jacket with everything I need when I get there. So, I don't know.
Well, we all have to put up with your pre-show pissiness, and I've told Willow I've learned to ignore it. And so I think Willow's learning to ignore it as well. It just is.
So, what's the best part of your job, Willow, besides Wes Iseli? Because I know that's your
Lord.
favorite. You get to work with a famous
besides,
magician.
Besides working with Natalie, the best part is I just get to hang out with my family and I get to hang out with the babies. And
Do you like the travel part? I mean, do you like going around and seeing other places and all? Or is that just sort of
yeah,
whatever?
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see different places that I probably normally wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said before that Lana's traveled more in her lifetime than I ever did before I turned 30, I think. So, I mean, yeah. I like seeing all the different places and the different sceneries as we go by.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do more. We're gonna do more field trips coming up, Willow. We tried, but then my brother's house burned down. We had one all set to do the following day, and then my brother's house burned down. We kind of got delayed on that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do more field trips and stuff now that we're up and out. But so you homeschooled yourself for just your senior year, or was it junior, senior year?
Junior and senior year, I homeschooled myself.
That's what I was saying when you started talking about pre-show pissy for some unknown reason, is that she volunteered. I didn't know what we were gonna do, and she volunteered. It was just, hey, I'm gonna start homeschooling myself. So if you want me to come on the road with you, I'd be happy to. And I was like, oh, yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to homeschool yourself for your last 2 years of high school? She's like, yeah, I don't mind. Wonderful. Bam. Babysitter. Love it. So yeah.
Do you wish you did more than just those last 2 years?
More homeschooling or just?
Yeah.
I mean, homeschooling was fine. I liked not having to deal with people, so. But I mean,
You are just not a people person.
No,
I'm not a people person at all. But I met some friends at high school that I probably wouldn't have otherwise, so I think it was a win-win situation.
yeah, half and half. Did you enjoy the homeschool? I mean, did you like the classes that you took and all, or do you think you would have liked what you were going to take in public school better?
Well, I was basically taking the same thing in public and while I was doing homeschooling at the same time.
Okay.
The only difference was I would have been taking a culinary class.
Yeah. Now was that
Well,
Was that
hey, take a
canceled?
culinary class. Cook for us. Go. I'll grade you.
was that canceled because of COVID, or could you have still gone there if you hadn't homeschooled yourself?
If I hadn't homeschooled myself, I could have still gone there.
Oh, okay. All right. Do
Well-
you regret missing out on that?
No, not really. I mean, I'm sure it would have been fun, but this is fun too, so.
Okay. Well, good.
Well, if you want to work on some new stuff, we can give you some recipes and have you chop.
Yeah.
So is this is your first job though, right?
Yep. This is my first job.
Boy, there's something else I was going to ask about homeschool. I just lost it. I have a list of questions here for you, Willow. Sorry. There was another
You're good.
homeschool question I had. What was it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, if it comes to you later, you can come back to homeschool.
So you have no recognition or you have no understanding of what like a boss is demanding of you. Can you imagine a better boss than Wes Iseli?
I have no other experience with a boss, so no.
So Wes Iseli's pretty awesome.
So far, so good. She hasn't
Yes.
quit on us yet, so you have, your pre-show pissiness hasn't driven her away.
I know
So-
what I was going to say about homeschool. It sounds weird we're asking her questions about it, but literally she lives with us, I'd say 97% of the time. If we have
Yeah,
Just
now that our
shows-
schedule's picked up.
if we
it's-
just
yeah.
have shows on the weekends and we have the week off or we have, a show on Monday and whatever, she'll go home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then come back Friday night. But now she's pretty much living with us full time. She just goes in her bedroom and does, I'm going to do school. And we're the adults in the house, but we didn't check on her. We didn't follow up. It's like, if you don't go do it, you're not going to do it. And I'm
Yeah.
asking the in-laws, I'm like, are we supposed to check on her? No, it's her responsibility. Okay,
Well, I
then
mean,
I'm not going to check
it
up on her.
It's there. They could have checked on it. And in high school, by the time you get to high school and in homeschooling, it's pretty self.
You're on your own anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of you do it yourself.
Yeah, you
The
don't
parent
really
is
have
there
to.
to check in and maybe score the tests and make sure you wrote the paper, type thing. But all the work, it's really kind of up to the student at that point to get it done.
But your senior year, you didn't even have a full load. You only did half classes anyway, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a bunch of classes. I just did reading, history, science, and that was it.
Nice. And she's taken her test and she's passed and she's graduated.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So Natalie gave me a hard time for a long time about the RV. And you're so laid back. How is the RV, Willow? It's fine. Tell us what you think about the RV. It's in the shop right now. I guarantee you miss it.
I love the RV. I can lay down in it, and
You have elbow room.
Yeah, you have elbow room. And when we go places, I'm all together. I'm not smushed between the boys.
Yeah.
It's great. And you can use the bathroom when you're there. That's nice bonus.
That's my favorite part because we drink so much water now.
I figured Willow said the chocolate snacks.
Yeah, you can have snacks going down the road.
Oh yeah,
Which
snacks.
You can in my car too, but not as much.
There's really no room to store snacks. If you
No.
wanted to bring snacks in your car, it's so loaded down. There's nowhere to put them.
Yep. Well, like we've said before, we bought that car right before we found out we were pregnant, and we bought it, knowing we were trying to get pregnant, thinking it would be plenty of room for one more kid, not realizing that there was two coming. So, eventually I'm going to get a bigger car. I'm going to get an Escalade, baby. You just watch and see.
Good luck.
What do you mean good luck? I didn't say it was going to be brand new. I'm going to use one, but
for it. I got an RV. I'm good.
yeah, but we could take the Escalade on vacation and still be comfortable.
I said we take the RV on vacation.
But then where are you going to park? If you take the
Same
RV
place
to
you
somewhere,
park it everywhere else.
if you take the RV to somewhere like, the beach or somewhere, now you're going to be like, I'm going to take up 2 of your parking spots. And I don't know if they'll let you. You only get one parking spot.
Yeah, at the beach it's a little different, but we still have 6 people riding around.
I know, that's what
with
I'm saying.
Luggage.
I get an Escalade, and it's bigger. There's more room, and we can put the luggage rack on top of that too.
Willow, have you ever priced an Escalade?
It's a luxury car.
I have no idea what an Escalade is, so.
It's a huge SUV.
Let's play a game.
Uh-oh.
Let's play a game with Willow.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Willow, don't worry. We're not going to spell.
Good.
I'm not good at that one either. But let's just let's name stuff in pop culture.
Oh no.
Okay.
I won't be good at that either.
Who is Freddy Krueger?
Oh, he's a horror movie.
Yeah.
He's a horror movie. He's a guy. He's the killer in a horror movie, right?
Yeah, he's a horror movie with long nails.
Okay.
Kind of.
He's got a glove. Reasonably
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who is Michael Myers?
He's another horror movie who apparently cannot die. They none of them can die.
Yeah.
You shoot them 5 times in the face and they still don't die.
He seems to get stronger every time he quote unquote dies.
Who is the comedian Michael Myers?
Oh, I have no idea.
Who is Jimmy Kimmel?
Wait, why don't you explain
I'm just asking her. Watch.
Michael
watch.
Myers?
Who is Jimmy Kimmel?
Isn't he the one that does the late night talk show with all those people?
Who is Jimmy Fallon?
I have no idea.
He does a late night talk show as well, but he used to be on Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
He's hilarious.
It's just funny. The only reason she knew Jimmy Kimmel is because she said, "Is that a magician?" The other day we were talking about him.
Oh, see,
Yeah. I might know these people. Actually, know who they are if I saw a picture of them, but their names, I no idea.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Really, you can recognize a face sometimes more than you recognize a name.
I just think it's. I mean, I knew who people were in high school, like pop culture people. Dad had a video store, but I knew who was on the late night talk shows, and I knew it's just weird to me that she didn't know
I don't
who it was.
I don't think her age group watches as much late night talk shows.
You-
It's not as popular anymore.
I've had a person tell me their name, and in 5 minutes later, I cannot, for the life of me, remember their name.
Yeah.
So
that's
there's
the
a
thing.
trick I learned to that. I'm not great at it, but there's a trick where you try to. All right, so if you meet somebody named Stacy, you try to think of another person you know named Stacy, and you try to make features match. Oh, you have blue eyes like my friend Stacy. Stacy, that's easy to remember. I have a guy friend named Stacy. You guys are both small people. My guy friend Stacy is huge, fat, overweight. But boy, you're skinny, Stacy. You say that obviously in your head, But that gives you, and you're repeating Stacy, like that guy. Oh, you're completely different than him. Look how skinny you are. And that helps you because you're just saying this in your head. Now, Willow would zone out to try to do all this stuff, and they'd have a whole conversation with her.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'd be
She
your
wouldn't
boss. It'd be your boss.
She'd be
Hello,
like,
my name
"Wait."
is John. I need you to do this, and this.
have a whole conversation. She goes, I know your name's John.
Right.
But
I got John.
I got nothing else.
All I got out of that whole conversation was your name
I would have
is
gotten
John.
John in the first 2 things you told me to do. The rest of it, I have no idea.
That's funny. So
Aw.
now this is your first job, but I'm awesome. Just to let you know,
Golly,
And as
can
a
you toot your
boss-
own horn?
as a boss, you're not going to have anybody else that's going to make you a loving breakfast 5 to 6 days a week. Did you know that, or is that something that you didn't know?
No, I knew that you don't get your boss to cook you breakfast in the mornings.
Can you feel the love in that breakfast in the morning? It's made with love.
So much love.
I knew it. All right, Nat, your turn.
My turn. Just throw it at me. My turn. I don't know.
Your turn.
What is your favorite? So you've seen the boys grow up from birth, obviously. And you've run on the road with us
Obviously.
since they were teeny tiny. What has been what's the funniest story you could tell us maybe about them? Something that happened, even if it's not on the road. Can you think of anything?
I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure I could think of something before, but I can't think of anything right now.
Well, what's your favorite thing that they've learned to do?
Not walk, not run.
Yeah, right? Wasn't your job a lot easier when they just sat there?
So much easier when I could just sit down and they could only crawl on me and they
You
couldn't
just-
go but 2 steps forward before they fell down again.
Right.
have a
they just
video.
weren't mobile at points. They just laid there.
I have a video with us working for those lawyers, and you're behind the wall, behind where I'm performing, and you're sitting there on your phone, and they're strapped into their car seats, and they're just content, and you're just on your phone, just playing. You got paid for those shows too, you know. Now you're earning your money, though.
Now I'm actually working for said
Yeah.
money.
Yes, you have to work a little harder.
She says said money. Are you not paying her?
Said money, not
Right.
sad money.
Said money for that said money. You are paying her, right?
Yes, I gave her a check today.
Natalie pays her, but I don't know, and I never see it, and I don't know anything about it. So I'm like, all right, I hope she's getting paid.
I paid her today.
Willow, if she's not paying you, you let me know.
And on top of that, she doesn't mind babysitting when we have date night once a month.
Oh, we have a big date night coming up too, Willow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Our
did you fi-
anniversary is tomorrow, which we're recording this on Monday, so it's the 17th of May.
Yeah, did you decide what you were going to do?
Well, we're not going to go out until the 18th of May because of stuff that we have going on our actual anniversary.
So that's the day this
But-
goes out.
Yeah, so so Wednesday, the day this goes out, the 18th, that's when we're going to go do something. I don't know. I suggested going for a hike or something, but Wes doesn't like that idea. He's not a hiking person. I think I've gotten him to go on like 2 the whole time we've been married. And I enjoy hiking. I like doing it.
I don't mind. I would rather go to a mall and walk 12 miles, like Mall of America, and just walk all day long. But just taking a hiking trail, it's
To
the
get to somewhere
unknown. It's the
pretty.
unknown. So many times we go on a hike and they're like, oh, it's just a half mile uphill. And then you walk for 6 hours and it says you've only gone 0.2 of a mile. What?
Well, it's a little slow going when you're going uphill. You talking about Crabtree Falls that I made you go when
I
was
don't know.
pregnant?
I don't know.
But the top was real pretty. And the
it was
falls
great.
that you saw on the way up.
It was great. It was
A lot
fine.
of fun. And the dogs had a good time.
The dogs had a blast. We
Yeah.
took pictures of the dogs. That was my favorite part. But I don't know. I just don't get into it. I don't know. Sorry.
I grew up going on vacations that were in the mountains and we took hikes and that was just a fun family time. And so I guess I have good memories doing it and I want to make good memories with you.
I liked
Hiking.
rock scrambling with Lana.
That was scary.
That's what was fun about it. It was an adventure.
That was not, no, that part that was scary was not fun. It was freaking scary. You were on the side of a flipping mountain,
Willow, you had to climb rocks that were
and Lana was boo-hooing.
half the size of a wall. So somebody had to boost you up onto the rock. And then you had to pull the other people up. And Natalie had to hand me Lana.
And you had to see, you could see straight down at one point. And Lana was boo-hooing her eyes out because she was scared. And I was looking at Wes like, okay, we're going up, but we're going to have to call a rescue helicopter to get me down. I cannot go down the mountain looking down at that. Luckily, it was a big old loop. So we didn't have to go down the cliff again. But, oh my gosh, that was nerve-wracking.
I enjoyed that one.
The rest of it was fun, but that part where you were literally on the edge of the rocks, looking down a steep mountain, afraid for my child, afraid for me, that was not fun. That was stressful.
If you wanted to get rid of somebody, you take them there.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, I mean, seriously, because I mean,
Yeah,
there's no safety rails. There's no nothing. It's
you
just straight
knock
down.
them off a little and go, oh no. You know, nobody's gonna find them. You
Nope,
just don't
I would not have been doing that. I'm terrified of heights.
Oh, it was fun.
Well, I didn't realize. It was recommended by a friend, and her daughter is a year younger than Lana. And she's like, oh, we did it with her. We just, we had to help her get up the rocks a little. I was like, okay, cool. And so we went. And
that's what I kept thinking. If a 4-year-old could do it, this is easy.
And so then we get there, and at first it's like, okay, well, yeah, this is not bad. And then we get to that part where it's just steep, and it's the edge of the mountain, and it's
Maybe they just
scary.
walked the trail until you started climbing. Maybe they turned around.
I wanted to cry. Maybe I wanted to cry when Lana was crying because I was scared, but I was trying to be all strong, like, there's nothing wrong. We're good, Lana. So I was holding my tears back, but I'm like, ha, ha, ha. If I could cry right now, I'd be crying. If I didn't have my little girl with me and I'm trying to be brave for her, I would have tears going down my face too. It was scary. The rest of it was fine. It was just that one spot that was very nerve-wracking. And then you got up on the top, and there was a big, wide, area to stand on, and we were fine. And we sat down, and we actually
ate in the middle.
Yeah,
because you couldn't get next to the edge.
We sat down, and we actually ate our lunch up there, and it was really pretty. The views were beautiful, but I was just glad we didn't have to go back down the way we came up. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have been stuck. I was seriously like, who do we call? Like, who do we call to get a rescue helicopter up here to take me back down the mountain?
Because I'm not going back down.
No, I can't go down that. But anyway,
It's
do you like hiking, Willow? Would you go hiking with me?
Yeah, I would go hiking with you. I like hiking. You get to see nature. Nature's very...
Well, you know what? Maybe me, Lana, and Willow will go hiking one day, and you can stay home with the boys.
Well, daggone, y'all leaving me.
Well, then come on the hike.
I'd rather go to a museum or go to the Natural History Museum
We
or
can
go
do
to
that, but why can't we go for a hike? Why can't we do something that I like to do?
Well, if we go for a hike with the boys, I think you're gonna have somebody's gonna be carrying them. They're not gonna make it on a hike. They're too little.
Well, that's why I suggested that we do it on our anniversary date.
Oh, well, you're not taking Willow on our anniversary date.
No, I'm not taking Willow on our anniversary date.
Willow, you're not allowed.
Ouch! How dare you?
Just saying.
We'll go do something. We'll go to a nice restaurant and figure out something. We have 2 days to figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
What do you want to do?
I told you what I wanted to do and got shut down.
You want to go for a hike?
So
Am I supposed to be the loving husband here and say, all right, we'll go for a hike?
No, because I don't want you to miss.
Because I do. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun. It's like King's Dominion on Dramamine.
Ugh.
I'd rather go to a magic show.
Oh, we did that last month.
It was great, wasn't it?
It was a good show, but I would like to do something different.
Tell everybody who we saw last month.
We already talked to them about it.
Did we?
Yes. We saw Rick Thomas. We love Rick Thomas. And it was a very good show. But we did that last month. I would like to do something different
And he
this
said
month.
he'd be on our podcast after he gets off tour.
Cool. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So, Willow, what do you want to do when we start doing field trips again?
I don't
What's
know.
something you want to do?
Maybe we could go to like a aquarium or a zoo or something. I like animals.
Yeah. it's been years since we've been to the DC Zoo, and it's been years since we've been to the Richmond Zoo.
The Richmond Zoo just came up on my Google Photos app. It was 3 years ago this week.
And it's been even longer since we went to the DC Zoo. We went
Yeah.
with Brian and Amy then.
Yeah.
The girls were little.
3, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boys, if they notice the animals, they probably like them.
If
We
they
can
notice
point them in the right
If
direction.
they notice
Look,
the animals.
yes,
All right,
what I'm
so
saying is, they're looking around. They're off in the distance. Hey, boys, look at the animals. Are we going to be able to get their attention to the right spot?
so today I got a wild idea. I said the kids are almost 2. What are they now? 20 months old?
Just about.
And I said, maybe if I put a crayon in their hand and lock them in their high chairs that I can get them coloring. Lex started dashing on the paper.
Yeah,
like,
he was just tapping.
with
his
the crayon
crayon.
and all over the paper, though, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian, all he wanted to do was roll the crayon from the top of his thing down.
Yeah.
Top down.
And did you see the smile on his face when he did it?
Anytime I held his pencil and drew on the paper, he and he wanted to roll it
he
again.
would not. He was not happy every time.
That was his fun with the crayon. He just wanted to roll it. Just like he likes to kick the soccer ball.
Dude, how good a soccer player is he? Come on,
He's
Willow.
a great one.
Yeah. He
He
does
could be
good.
a soccer player. That's for sure. He loves kicking the ball around.
What are you doing, Willow? I hear you playing paper. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sitting here trying to do the 3D puzzle.
Oh, you're going through the puzzle pieces. I hear paper sloshing.
I was trying to be quiet.
So
No, you're fine.
So what puzzle are you working on?
I'm working on the 3D castle puzzle.
Oh, but there's no directions for that one.
No, there isn't.
Have you
So-
figured which pieces go to what side?
I
wonder if you
not
could look it
really.
up online. Do you have the box to it?
Yeah.
Maybe you could look it up online and find directions on that. to
Well,
see
you
which-
make a wall. You'll know if it's a floor or a wall because the inside
Yeah,
will
but if
be.
all the pieces were mixed together,
Yeah.
how do you know which ones are supposed to be a wall and which ones are supposed to be a floor?
I got a whole bunch of puzzles at like a yard sale, and I told Willow, I said, "Hey, take as many as you want." Willow loves puzzles, so she's sifting through it. She just did an entire puzzle today and is missing one piece. That's the worst.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's
It,
the worst.
it was very frustrating.
Hey, but how much do you pay for it, Willow?
Zero. I paid.
See, you can't complain too much, but that is super frustrating.
To get the whole thing done and realize you're missing one single piece.
Yeah, it was just one piece.
Yeah.
So the boys get older. You're still working for us. Should we put you in the merch category, or are you going to get a job and leave us? We'll have you sell merch, or are you going to be gone? What do you think? I'm not putting you on the spot. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
I honestly have no idea what I'm going to be doing with my life a few years down the line. I might leave you, I might not. I had no idea.
Well, your grandparents will probably kick you out, so you'll be living with us at that point if you don't get a real job.
Well,
Oh,
eventually
maybe.
she could always get an apartment of her own if she wanted to. And if she was.
She has to get a license. She has to get to some kind of job.
Well, yeah.
But she doesn't like people. Maybe she can get a computer job, but she just like data entry.
Wait.
No, that'd be boring.
Yeah, but you don't like people. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I always wanted to be a chef, so maybe I'll be a chef.
There you go. She works with food and not people.
Yeah, but she doesn't like people. I'd be afraid that person spit in my food. She doesn't like people.
Listen, I'm
Oh,
not gonna
stop it.
spit in
Spit
your
in her
food. I'll
Good.
spit in specifically your food, Wes. Just yours.
See, that's what I knew. I wouldn't go to
Just
your
nobody
restaurant.
else. Nobody else.
So I thought you liked baking better. You
Yeah,
wanna
I
be
do.
a chef, or you want to be a baker? Like,
Yeah, I would
Cakes and
probably
pastries.
be. I would probably be a baker, not a chef. But
Would you want to open your own bakery?
I used to, and it would still be pretty cool if I did open up my own bakery.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can
I
open
think
it
it would
up.
be too.
You can open up beside Lana's veterinary clinic and what
Clothing
else?
shop.
And clothing shop.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well,
Because you drop your animal off.
We'll open up a thing. What
No,
is it
listen,
called?
yeah. You drop your
A whole
animal
strip mall.
off so that they can get their vet appointment. You go next door, buy a dress or pants or something. You getting hungry, you go to the next door, you buy a pastry. Perfect. It all
Yeah,
goes
look at that.
together.
You buy
And
the
then-
pastry
and then
before
you
you
buy
get
the
the dress or
pastry,
after, so
Then
you
you
know
buy
it
a
fits.
few pastries, and then you go back to the clothing store to buy a bigger size clothes.
That's what I'm saying.
It would be like our own little supermarket.
Yeah,
Our
perfect.
own little strip mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just boom, 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 right next door to each other. That's a great idea.
We'll
I
call
like
it Wes Iseli Super Center.
Why would you call it Wes Isley's? You have nothing to do with it.
They're not investing in it. I'll buy the whole strip mall and then rent to them. I'll make some money off this.
Oh, but they want to call their own businesses their own thing.
Yeah, but it's Wes Iseli Strip Mall.
Okay, Wes Isley's strip mall, whatever. Nobody's gonna see that anywhere. And then Willow's wonderful cake creations, and
We got to come up with something with a W, though.
I know
Willow's wonderful waffle wafers.
waffle
No.
wafers.
I don't know.
I don't think she wants to make waffle wafers, whatever those are.
Willow
Willow's
Wingo's wonderful.
Wonderful.
It has to have a W.
Willow's wonderful.
No, Willow Wingo's.
Why?
Will.
What if she gets married and doesn't keep Wingo? Then you just have to marry somebody with the last name of W. Willow.
No, that's not limiting the batch at all.
So you just leave
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Speaking
You
of
just leave
which,
out Wingo.
this goes to 45 different countries. Willow's 18. She's single. She's good with kids. Do you have
She's really sweet. She's beautiful.
Willow, anything else you want to say on your Match.com profile here?
Cooking.
Oh, and
She's
she's
a
a good
good
cook.
cook.
There you go. All
Yes,
right, there
a
you
good
go.
cook, a good baker. She'll keep you full, and just don't be a party person because she's not going to go with you. There you
Yeah.
go.
I won't.
And don't try to
gotta be
introduce
more
her
of
to
a-
your family because she doesn't like people.
You got to be more of a homebody.
And
I'm
if
a
you love horror
homebody.
movies, that's a bonus.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
I've been
You
watching
like
more
horror
horror
movies?
movies with her. We've been watching all sorts of horror movies.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to work. I've been working.
I've been working too. You admit that I work more than you, so don't even. The fact that I take a minute to take a break is probably a good mental health thing that you should be doing too. Anyway, Willow loves horror movies, and so when Wes won't quit working, we watch horror movies together. And I've liked them so far.
Well,
So
tell
far,
everybody
so
what you
good.
guys been watching.
What was the first ones we were called? I remember everything. They were
Insidious.
Insidious. Were all of them called Insidious?
Yeah, they were all called Insidious. Insidious
Okay.
something. Insidious the Last Key.
Yeah, okay.
All had
They
the
were
Insidious
they
in 'em.
were good. It was all those were good. I liked them.
I thought you were watching Annabelle.
And then and now we started watching Annabelle. We've watched 2 Annabelle movies.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
one more to go.
Oh, just one more. That's it. What are we gonna do after we're done with Annabelle?
What are you going to do when the babies are walking around the room and realizing you guys are watching scary, scary, scary stuff and they start freaking out?
Well, then we guess we can't watch them then, and maybe they'll get an earlier bedtime so that we can watch them.
Dude, I can't wait for them to get an earlier bedtime.
Yeah, well,
Because
you don't want to get up earlier in the morning. So if I put them to bed earlier, you'd have to get up earlier in the morning.
yeah, I want to get up at 7 again and start working out before the kids get up, but that doesn't work.
Well,
It's hard. It's hard. Every day, every week, it seems like a different challenge.
And just look at today. It's already 10 o'clock.
It flew by. The
Yeah.
whole day flew by.
Yeah. We got so much to fit into one day. Office work, health coaching for me, school, cooking dinner.
I fed the animals.
Yeah.
I vacuumed the whole house twice.
No, you didn't. You set the Roomba off to vacuum the whole house twice.
I did it by myself. Well, Willow helped.
You couldn't find the button to push a button? Oh my goodness, that's
No,
hilarious.
she helped me pick up 9,000 toys off the floor and pick
Oh.
up the majority of the stuff in that room. And
Yeah.
stuff off
Yeah, I
the
helped
floor.
you pick up a bunch of the toys and stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Willow. I appreciate it.
She's a good helper.
Well, it's like at nighttime. You come down and help Natalie pick up all the toys. The babies throw toys. We put up baby gates in the living room, and they throw all their toys in the kitchen and in our office.
Yeah, outside the gate.
And they go through our burn trash for the fireplace and just throw that everywhere. And it's overwhelming. And you just
Yeah.
come in there helping stack stuff and throw stuff back.
And I appreciate it so much
That
because
helps.
every night I'll look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a teetotal wreck. But Willow helps me out. It's really sweet of her. And she doesn't have to. She wouldn't have to do that if she didn't want to. But she does, and that's really sweet, and I love her for it.
Nope, it's no problem. I'm one of the only teenagers who finds cleaning actually calming and stuff like that.
Oh, great. Start cleaning all the bathrooms. They're gross. I need to clean.
Willow,
Kidding.
would you call
You don't
yourself?
have to do that.
Would you call yourself a chocoholic?
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Guys,
probably
it's
gonna
crazy.
have early diabetes or whatever it is called, where you have
Oh,
too much
look,
sugar.
I met her.
Pre-diabetes. What you?
She would have
You're-
diabetes.
You're young. Well, you get pre-diabetes first, and then the doctor shakes his finger at you and says you need to make a change. And then if you don't end up making a change, you get diabetes. But you're young yet to have to worry about that. But yeah, you may want to start changing your habits a little. So
I
it's
met her
not
at the
so
top of the steps for the
drastic.
podcast, and I said, "All right, you ready to do this?" And she said, "Oh, I was going downstairs to get some s'mores."
Yeah, I was. I'm gonna get some s'mores after this.
She says, "Hey, can I go to the grocery store with you guys today? I want to pick up a couple things." She buys herself a whole chocolate cake for herself. It's a frozen one.
Well, but it's not like she eats it all in one sitting.
I could, but I
I
have to refrain from it.
Yeah,
I never thought
I
to
totally understand
buy
that,
a whole
Willow.
chocolate cake for myself. I would never do that, like ever. I'm not a chocoholic.
Really?
No.
Oh,
I am.
I'd love
I'm a
chocolate.
chocoholic. I have a horrible sweet tooth. That's why I like the brownie that's on our plan so much.
Well,
But yeah. Oh, I could buy one of those chocolate pies. I could sit down and eat the whole darn thing in one sitting too. I tell you what. Well, maybe not now, but I could.
So Willow, going on the road and stuff. We have Maryland coming up. We're gonna be there for 3 days, and then we come home and we have Southwest Virginia. I don't know if you remember that last time. It was 3 shows in one day, and we stayed at that Dive Hotel.
P.S. I got recommendations of hotels from them this year, so that we're going to stay at a good hotel and not have to stay at that one.
That hotel
Oh,
was
yeah,
a little
that's
sketchy.
right.
Do you remember that hotel, Willow? You guys went to like a dollar store and got
Yeah.
breakfast for everybody.
And it smelled
Yeah,
all
it smelled
musty and-
weird.
Yeah, it was like
They said it was cleaning stuff for COVID, but it
But it
just smelled
does.
like mildew.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
they wetted down the carpet with too much cleaner and then just shut the doors tight, and it just smelled like mildew.
But
Yeah, it
then
did
we
not
come
smell
back
good.
from that and we go up to Ohio, and we're doing a project up there. Are you going to help keep the kids awake? That's the main thing on these trips. Because Willow, I think we talked about in another podcast, we couldn't figure out what Lana's problem was. Every time we went to Hyatt Regency, she just would not sleep through the night.
Right.
And then I had this just epiphany. It just hit me. Dude, she's sleeping for 5 or 6 hours in the car on the way up, so she's wide awake at nighttime.
Right.
Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah. And so they kept them awake last time we went to Hyatt, and they slept through the night after they screamed their heads off for a good half hour.
Yeah,
what
but
about-
still.
But what
They're
about
still
that time
strange.
she went in the bathroom and just hung out with you in the bathroom floor with
Yeah.
Julian?
Well, that was the time before that we didn't keep them awake on the ride, and yeah, Lex finally fell asleep, and then Julian would not fall asleep, so I took him in the bathroom, and he was just walking around. And by that point, poor Willow was wide awake because he had screamed so much, and I felt bad. She just came in. She's like, "I'm awake, so I was just gonna keep company." Okay. And then
we did a Magiclife. We did a Magiclife video. It's on YouTube. It's on our vlog of that trip to Tazewell, Virginia. That's Southwest Virginia.
yeah,
Do you remember stopping at that rest area and feeding everybody and how fun that was? Willow?
Yeah,
That's before we got the RV. We did all that down there in that sketchy hotel.
yeah.
I just put that up like last week, so it's fresh in my mind because I just put that video up on YouTube.
we can't do that now. I mean, we could stop at a rest stop and eat if you wanted to, but we
I
don't
don't
have
want to. I don't. That's the
We
cool
don't
thing
have
with the
to with
RV.
the
We
RV.
don't stop anymore. We don't.
Well, I
need to
mean, the
stop
thing
for
with
gas.
the Tazewell ones is we are always going down there the day before the shows.
Yeah.
We're spending the night, so we could totally take our time. It really didn't matter because we don't have a deadline for that day. Because the reason we go down there early is because the next show in the morning is like 10 a.m. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Southwest
And,
Virginia.
so if it's 10 a.m. show, that means we have to show up at 9:30 to set up, which we're not going to leave at well, we had to leave at 2:30 in the morning to get there. So we just spent the night.
And boy, everybody be in a bad mood.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having a good day.
No. So
All right.
we may leave from there and go up to straight to Ohio. Honestly.
Maybe.
Because it's the next day we have to be there. Might as well just start heading that
gosh.
day. Yeah, might as well just start heading that way.
Because that's another 5 hours north.
Find a hotel on the way and then we don't have to be there till the evening of the next day, but why go home and then, you know what I mean?
Well,
anyway, we'll discuss that later. Instead
that's
of
June
here.
3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're in Maryland. Elkton, Maryland, Showcase on Main. June 7th, we're doing Tazewell County Public Libraries, I think. It's a whole library system, 3 different shows.
Yeah.
So that's Tazewell Library on June 7th. So check that out. June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we're in Elkton, Maryland, and Showcase on Main. You can go to wesiseli.com to get all that stuff. But that's going to be a crazy. The other one in Ohio's not open to the public, but those are open to the public. The Showcase on Main, we're doing our show there. We're doing our stage show.
Yeah, we're doing like
teaching magic classes.
I think it's an evening show on Friday and Saturday, and like maybe a midday show on Sunday. And then we're teaching classes before the shows on Friday and Saturday, and I think it might be a lecture for magicians after the show on Sunday, but I can't quite remember. It's something along those lines. So, yeah.
I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think that whole thing will be fun.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
I don't know how many lectures he does for magicians there, so I don't know.
I don't either. But
I think it might be a new thing for him. I don't know, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
So Willow, the boys are 5 years old. They listen to reason. We can put them in a corner. They know they get in trouble. They get in trouble. Like Lana, at 5, she knew we meant business when it came to shows, because once the show was over, all hell broke loose. She knew to do better in shows. She knew how to act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So by the time they get to 5, we won't need you. I don't think.
I don't know. I
With
wouldn't.
twins?
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, because we thought we weren't going to need her when they were babies for small shows. So I wouldn't say that. I don't know. Boys are completely different ballgame here, Wes.
Well, I was going to tell her she could join us at the merch table. She could sell merch.
Oh, she could totally sell merch. I mean, at 5, yeah, they could hang out with us. But if there was 2 of us at the merch table, you know, and somebody tried to leave, one of us could go after them while the other one stayed at the merch table.
Well, they're 5. They can sit backstage and play video games or something.
Yeah.
And we can just keep an eye. I can see them out of the corner of my eye. There they are.
Yeah.
Lex, where are you going? Get over here.
Yeah. Yeah, by 5, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
As
But
long
anyway.
as they don't rile each other up and.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine they'll have their own little iPad type things. Lana had that green leapfrog that had 50,000 games on it.
Yeah.
So they'll both have one of those.
Yeah.
And that'll keep them busy during shows.
Yeah.
Because they'll be doing homeschool on the way to shows probably. So they won't have time to play them.
Not
So
at college.
showtime will be playtime.
Well, they might be doing like preschool at 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which won't take long. But yeah. So we may still need her at 5 years. You don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Willow, what else you got to say to the fans out there? We have listeners in 45 different countries. Do you like men with a tan? We have people from
What?
do you want people from the South to inquire on you, or do you want people from France or Italy, or we have Bangladesh listeners? I don't know. What are you into? What kind of man do you like?
Good gosh, Wes Iseli.
I'm trying to help her out.
Willow, you do not have to answer the question.
Yeah. I don't know how to answer said question, so maybe that's my issue.
She just has to find somebody. It doesn't matter what he looks like. Treats her well.
You know what I would like? I would like them to buy tickets to the show. That's what I'd like.
Oh, okay.
If you want to inquire about Willow, buy tickets to the show. We'll bet 'em.
Yes, a good suitor
would buy tickets.
would
to the
come
show.
along and just be like, "Oh, you're doing a theater show here? I would love to come and see you.
We'll
I'll be
be
in
in
the
Elkton,
area.
Maryland, June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Willow be with
How
us.
weird is that I will be in the area? I'll buy a ticket to a show. Maybe I
Tazewell
can
County
go to dinner with
Libraries.
you afterward.
3 shows, June 7th. Willow Wingo will be there.
I will have to be there. Yes, you are correct.
She's regretting it now, Wesley.
I don't know, Willow. What am I
You're
supposed to
gonna
do?
drive her
What am I
away.
supposed to do? I'm not
Would you
driving
stop
anybody
it?
anywhere. I drive her to her allergy appointment every week. Boy, that's 3 hours south, 3 hours home. How long does it take us to get there, Willow? What do we give ourselves?
We usually give ourselves 2 hours to get there.
And man, it's a boring drive. You pass one, what do you call it? One shopping center on the way. It is just boring. Golly, that's a
Sorry.
boring drive. And then Willow's got her earbuds in. She doesn't even know I'm talking to her.
Well, she's trying to not be bored. You just said it's a boring drive.
And then she gets poked and she gets out of the car. I opened up my email. I looked at one email. She gets back in the car. I'm like, you didn't even walk 2 feet from the car. Yeah, I did.
But then you have to sit there for a half hour and make sure she didn't have a reaction.
Golly. The one time we left early, she started going, is it itchy in here? Are you hot? I'm hot.
I said, is it hot in here? Because I was burning up.
Goodness.
And then she had a reaction. Then we had to go back. And then they all freaked out that she was going to die. And then Natalie was singing a song.
I wasn't singing a song.
Lana was singing a song.
No.
Are you going to die?
Yeah, she was a goober. But, yeah. Yeah, you brought that on yourself. Because you're like, it's so boring. Nothing ever happens. Just once, I'd like to see her have a reaction.
Willow.
And then she does, and you're like, that was worse. Because then we had to stay there longer.
Yeah, they took her back. They poked her, gave her something. And then they had to watch her for like an hour. And I'm sitting in the parking lot. And no matter where I park, the sun is just beating down on me in that parking lot. I don't know what the heck is up with the geographical location to the sun in that parking lot. But if you park facing one way, you get the sun. You park the other way, you still get the sun. Doesn't matter.
Well, you got your wish, and now you know not to wish for that anymore.
I'm not wishing for that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You know not.
He's like, I just want something exciting to happen. That's not exciting at all.
Yeah, that's not exciting at all.
Golly.
Well, she didn't puff up or turn red or anything. She was itchy, saying she was itchy, and it wasn't. I mean, no. I
It
wanted
wasn't
to
a
see,
severe reaction.
like my mom, when she had some kind of reaction, her lips got all fat like a duck, and it looked like her lips were going to explode. That's what I wanted to see, Willow, but I got none of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make sure
You
my
did it
reaction next time is more
right.
severe.
Yeah, I couldn't take a picture and laugh at you. There was nothing to laugh at.
You did it wrong, Willow. Way to go.
I'm so sorry. I'll try again.
Oh.
All right, Willow. Well, we did a whole hour-long podcast with you. We tease you all the time, but seriously, honestly, I'm saying it in front of the world. We love you, and thank you for everything you do for us. Seriously, seriously. Make sure my wife pays you, but
I do.
also thank you. Seriously.
Yes, thank you very much. Having you with us has been a weight off our shoulders, and it's made our lives a lot easier, so we appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's no problem.
Yay.
All right. Well, June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Elkton Showcase on Main.
You've said
That's
it
in
4 times.
Maryland.
You
Tazewell,
have said
June
it 4 times.
7th. Tazewell County Libraries. Willow Wingo will be there, guys. Also, what are you laughing at? I'm trying to help you out. Also, our television shows in syndication. We're in season 2 now on the networks that we're picked up on. But we have a phone call this week, and they're talking about that other
Oh, yeah?
syndication deal. Hopefully, it's very close. So
Nice.
hopefully that starts season 1 all over. So I don't know how to advertise it. But look for us in syndication.
Yay.
Wes Iseli's Magiclife. If we're not on your local cable network, check us out on Roku. And you can see Willow on there. She's in several episodes.
Yes, I am.
And check out wesisley.com for all of our merch, our t-shirts, our playing cards, our stickers, t-shirts, magic tricks, and more.
Sorry.
Am I boring you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Golly. Anyway, guys, we got our podcast working again. You can hear us. It's crystal clear. We finally got it
Hallelujah.
working. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sticking in with us for 3 bad weeks.
No, it was 2.
2
It was 2.
bad weeks,
Yeah.
but I think it was 3.
No, you're wrong.
It was Michelle. It was
And-
Jack. and it was us. We had to redo ours
Ours we redid so that it didn't go out bad.
because it was bad. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Check us out, wesisley.com, and see you next week.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.